Let's go to the next one. Woman King.
Oh, shout out to Tone Talks. He did a live the other day on Boycott, the Woman King.
Yeah, that's been trending. This I'm showing this to show. This is the person who wrote it. I think the whole
boycotting thing is getting old.
It ain't working.
If you don't identify with it and you don't want to watch it, then just don't go watch it.
Isn't that a form of boycott?
That's a form of boycott, but at the same time, I mean, I can understand him trying to awaken Black Americans and expose the film and, you know, where it came from and this, but at the same time, it's just like...
Expose what film?
The Woman King.
Oh, okay.
About, you know, the Dahomey Kingdom in Benin.
Yeah.
We've already told you who that is.
We've already told you who that is.
That's Nigeria. They tell you that Benin, when Nigeria was once called Benin.
It also was called the Kingdom of Yehuda. So, or Judah. Yeah.
Benin?
No, not Benin. Not Benin. But there was a kingdom there called Kingdom of Yehuda. Okay. I think that's how they call it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the whole boycotting thing is...
Well, it's kind of worked. I mean, all these movies they said they on boycott, none of them did that well in the box office.
I mean, me personally, no, I don't think. I mean, I can't tell nobody they shouldn't go watch it.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
I'm not interested either because we know it's about wokeism. Every movie, everything now is just terrible.
No, I'm not doing it. Don't do that. Don't give them the word woke. I'm not letting them take it.
Like
we give them all these other words. They're not. I'm not letting them take woke.
Like the movie out with Queen Latifah and Ludacris on Netflix, The End of the Road, Till the End of the Road. I watched that. And of course, Queen Latifah, it was just so weird. There's a particular scene where the daughter, two white guys, again, was trying to holler at the daughter. They would come out of the gas station and she gave them the middle finger. They chased her down the road. And by the way, in the store, they had a statue of Trump. So that town was conservative, racist, white people. They were Trumpers, MAGA city. So there was already democratically influenced, Netflix, liberalism. And then they, you know, harassed them, stopped them, pulled them over. Ludacris wanted to get out of the car and go defend them, but Queen Latifah says, no, I'll do it. So there you go. Once again, the black man has cannot protect the family. The black woman has to do it because she fears for the black man's life. He's going to be killed, so she has to go out and handle the situation because he doesn't know how to diffuse the situation. She has to do it.
Well, they also say this because naturally when a black man stands up, it's automatically seen as more threatening.
Which is what she implied.
Yeah. So you got a situation where whenever, I've seen this with my own two eyes, you'll have a situation where the cops come up and the man start talking and it gets real tense real quick and the woman has to step in between the man and the cop and to try to diffuse it because naturally he's seen as more of a threat.
And there's another scene where she's with another group of racist white dudes. She gets chained up. I mean, she gets out of this. There's a knife laying next to her and she beats all their asses. And I'm like, come on. Queen Latifah is don't get me wrong. She's an Amazon looking.
Yeah, she's a big woman.
She's big, but she's not just,
What did I say like 2 weeks ago? I said they're trying to make Queen Latifah the new action star because she's like 50.
The Equalizer.
I said Equalizer being a TV show and then making her the star. I said, wait.
Ain't that what they do to black women when they get like in their 50s?
They're doing it with the Woman King, Viola Davis.
She's in her 60s now.
And she's doing workouts to doing the action movie. And it's like, look, get your money.
But we have to say that's amazing for her to be her age and she getting able to be fit and getting to these roles.
Like, she was looking like she was, about 40 years old. She looked great. But,
But anyway, back to the Woman King.
Exactly. Somebody said, nah, bruh.
No Cash App.
No Cash App.
No.
We don't, no. But this is the woman here. This is the woman here who was co-wrote it.
They don't want to take money. Who paying
them? Yeah, somebody else paying them.
We know they playing. They said they was from military base.
No, hold on. Don't put that out. We not from a military base. we grew up. See, now you done brought that back up again, Regina.
Here I go.
You know what we said last time? We lived near a military base. We grew up on.
Regina's brain is tingling.
Yeah, she's like, hold on. But yeah, this is one of the people who co-wrote it. So I'm seeing when people were talking about boycotting, you saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, y'all don't want this movie to succeed because it features a dark-skinned black woman as the lead character."
Oh, here we go.
They did it.
That's really what they did.
I can't believe they did it that quick. It was like, damn.
Well, we have to show some sensitivity for that because
it's some reality to it, but
That's not my
this
reasoning
movie.
behind it.
No, I'm saying it's reality to that being a thing that happens, but not in this case.
You know what was crazy? Viola Davis should have been in the Harry Tubman movie that Cynthia
That's what everybody said.
Erivo was in, but they switched.
Switch.
They gave her the woman
And gave her the African role.
Cynthia Erivo, she should have been the woman king.
Now they got a movie coming
That's where
about,
she comes from.
Now they got a movie about Whitney Houston coming out, and it's a British woman acting out the role. And it's just like, y'all keep doing, and we're gonna get to that soon, but somebody, Juice Man, what up? He said, yo, what's up, family? My bad, I've been slipping, but y'all know I watch every episode. Stay up. Yeah, stay up, bruh. He said, I'm in the scene, in that scene, Queen Latifah implies that he is active in the streets, but still act like he can't protect them. Exactly.
Yeah.
So he bout that life, but you don't think he can do it, though.
But don't get me wrong, I thought the movie was good out of a 10, and you know this is, I have very high. I give it a 7, 6 or 7.
I saw people, I ain't watching. Somebody
it was like a black family action movie. I will say in the end, Ludacris's role, they did give him a little where he was able to be a man in the movie.
Emasculate the whole movie.
But still, she had to go off and, Queen Latifah had to go off by herself, be the head honcho and go whoop people's ass.
Yeah.
Put people in the dirt.
In the dirt. Gucci man. But yeah, I saw people across social media saying that movie was, they said, man, Netflix ain't tell us nothing about this movie. They said, well, I wish they didn't because it's ass.
It wasn't that bad. To me, it wasn't that bad.
Well, I don't know. They said, I guess they might have had a more stronger opinion on those scenes you're talking about that made them not like
I think that's probably what made, but I'm so used to it, to the Mary.
Yeah, you just kind of go,
what they call them, Mary Sue?
Yeah.
We so used to the Mary Sues that, it is what it is.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Shout out to Nas, it's Nascar 316. What you saying? I about to act like I ain't here, but you kind of paused, so it's there now. Let's see what she had to say about Woman King.
And I think the reason why the Woman King is important is because it's historical and it's real. And, this is absolutely no disrespect to those projects. They serve a different purpose, which is equally as important. But to know that we're not just a fantasy and that we are a reality is extremely, extremely important. And that's what I think.
So basically, in this, they never talked about. He said on one hand, the actress said the Woman King is historical. It's real, but when promoting this movie, they never discussed the real history that the homie were African slave traders. This movie does not sit right with my soul. Now, there was another person who responded to. There was a person who put out a tweet. They talked about the Whitney Houston movie and all that stuff. Let me show this one right quick. This is a scene in the movie. And you saw that word butt broken.
The Ludacris role.
This is how they presented one of the men in the movie. This is one scene, so I haven't watched the movie. So I'm not saying this is all characters. I'm saying this is one scene.
The throne. What did you do? Locked yourself in the cupboard.
What?
The throne.
Wow.
So
this is Africa?
This is Africa. Yeah. This is
he got his head thrown back, his arm. This is what?
Shoulders dropped, everything. This is I thought most of the men in the film look weak and docile, effeminate, and buck broken. I thought he was a eunuch.
Ludacris didn't look like this in the movie.
I thought he was a eunuch. I'm pretty sure that guy has to be a eunuch. I mean, that's the only way that makes sense. This right here, this is Niles Ross. He said Lupita when she found out the truth about the Dahomey Kingdom. Let me show y'all this right here.
And here is her reaction to finding out.
Hold on.
The truth of the Dahomey Amazons.
Y'all let me know if this too loud, if it sounds poorly. Just let me know. You hear that? Like a...
Yes, but play it, dude.
Martine's great-grandmother Yaga was enslaved, but remained on African soil. On the beach at Ouida is a memorial. It bears witness to the fate of thousands of prisoners that the warrior women captured by order of the kings to be sold to Europeans into the transatlantic slave trade.
It's all there.
and it bears witness to the over 2 million women and men who from the 17th to the 19th centuries were loaded onto slave ships here on what came to be called the slave coast of Africa.
So as you can see, they show Lupita.
Lupita didn't give a damn.
Which is fun because she's from North Africa. Her family is from North Africa. That's what she said. Obviously, they ended up.
I thought she was from Kenya.
No. She said her family was North African originally, and then it came down to Kenya, and obviously they ended up moving to Mexico where she was born. But she said her family members, like her ancestors, originally are from Northern Africa.
Mm.
So it makes sense in how you got Carthage up there, the main people who went against Rome at one point with a thorn in Rome's side. We know those were black people because I forgot the guy's name who went against Rome. I got his name. I'm on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember right now, but yeah. So she said she's Northern African. So apparently her people were kidnapped, right? Didn't they say that?
Whose people?
Lupita. That's what it's.
Maybe so.
That's the point of her crime.
I can't say. I wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
But that's in Ghana, right?
Huh?
Ain't that in Ghana?
Yeah. Well, this is the coast, slave coast. That would be Benin and all those places.
Benin is Nigeria.
There's an actual country
named Benin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In Togo, yeah.
It was very emotional, very overwhelming to consider that side of the story, you know?
So this is why she wasn't in The Woman
That's
King.
what I'm about to say. Did she choose not to do that movie because she knew
the history behind the woman, the Amazon women? So that's why she didn't take the role.
Yeah, it's funny because the last ship that left Africa and came to America brought a man here. I can't remember his name right now. He actually is the one who founded little African town in Alabama. He was actually captured by these women, Amazonian women, and in his book he said it. He was captured by them and sold. So it's crazy that they didn't put that side. Apparently, they didn't put that side of the story into the movie. From what I've heard, they said they made the women against slavery, how they went against the other kingdom, the OYO, the Oyo kingdom, who were pro-slavery, and they said that the women were the ones who was trying to abolish it. They made the women, the Amazonian women, they made them
the good people.
The good people. Crazy.
I've heard a lot about the valor of the Agojie, how unstoppable they were, but until now.
No, not Constantine. His name is not Hannibal. Is it not Hannibal? Is it Hannibal?
It's Hannibal.
Hannibal. That just came to me immediately. Yeah, Hannibal. Not Constantine, Hannibal.
Yeah.
Hannibal of Carthage.
Carthage. They have a documentary on the History Channel.
And they made him black.
And they made him black this time.
Now they saying they did that for just what they call it, theatrical purposes.
Wokeism, including diversity.
Yeah, this
people
diversity.
of color.
The story was, they're not saying this is actually how he looked. No, that's how you know that's how he looked. That's exactly how he looked. But yeah, Hannibal of Carthage. Who's the one who went against
Some of the
Rome.
people were Shemitic. Some of them were Hermetic.
Exactly.
Like the Phoenicians.
Yep. And a lot of them went up. So we can go into this. We're going to go into this later. Something I didn't get to show you. The Stone of Destiny. I got even more on that. I think it's something you had already said that we've got on it. But yeah, so they show this right here. And I think that's probably the reason why she denied being a part of that movie. Yeah. Halle Bailey Little Mermaid is already...
It deserves y'all gonna hate me, call me a coon, I don't care. It deserves every bit of racist backlash it gets from these white people. They could have took this movie, if they wanted to, they could have made their own black Little Mermaid, made it a totally different story plot line and did everything. But they're just gonna give black little girls scraps. Gonna take a story and just place it with a black little girl and call it, oh, Little Mermaid. No, but yeah, give them a whole new direction, a whole new different movie.
You kept the king white and you kept his son that she falls in love with white. So it's like the movie Cinderella when they did Brandy and Whitney Houston, but you kept the prince white. Like,
these black people, these white people give them hell every time they change stuff. Give them hell.
They is too.
Because if it was us, we would do the same thing.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about them replace. What if maybe they were joking about this to the conservatives? They said we're gonna do a Malcolm X movie and we're gonna get Matthew McConaughey to play Malcolm.
That's a little too far.
Oh, no, they're not asking. They were joking. They saying you replace. Now that's a different, like you saying. That's a historical, real person versus a fictional fantasy character.
Exactly.
But they were making the point. We don't want you in our movies. Basically, this is equal to us. Our fantasy is equal to your real. George said it was your mic switch is too low. Now I got a fan on. I got a fan on. Ken. Here y'all. When it was 103 degrees 3 days ago, I had to turn off my fans are here. I said never again. So good job. But it's not the bigs. Hey, you say you ain't turn that fan off. Oh, it's not. Let me see this on here. It's loosely based on the truth. I hate when they do these movies and try to pass off as accurate history.
True.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, give them hell. Every time they change something up, Disney's little slave girl.
Hey, that's a good point. When you be real about it, what is she really representing?
You saw where they changed her picture and put a white woman.
Watermelon.
No, I the watermelon, and they said, "Oh, what is she gonna be down there with fried chicken?" And I couldn't do nothing. Say, give them hell. Every time they try to change something, give them hell.
They did the same thing with Pinocchio. They they added a black female Pinocchio character. Not the main character is not a black female, but they made another side character who was a.
Somebody actually changed her face. They made a person look like anybody know who the actress Brittany. Is it Brittany White or Brittany Snow?
They made a white girl, yeah.
Her name, she looked like Brittany White or Brittany Snow. I can't remember her last name. She's an actress.
But they kept her voice. And somebody was like, wait, so you don't have a problem with her singing? You just got a problem with her being.
Well, no, they love to hear you dance, perform, and shuckle and jive for them. They like your voice. They just don't like your face.
It's intersecting how all of these years Wonder Woman and white women representing Amazon women. Now we have Amazon women being depicted as African, and there's no conversation about the discrepancy. Yeah, well, the women who are representing the ones in Africa were African. These women were not called. They call them Amazonian women now, but they were originally called the women warriors or whatever they call them. But they got the nickname Amazonian warriors because they were women who had a all women military. But funny enough, and I don't mean to do this, but they boost up about these women and how they fought, and all this stuff, but they lost to the French.
Here you go, tearing down the African women.
I'm not turning them down. They lost twice.
Can't ever let a woman rise.
They lost twice easily to the French. Obviously, they had guns. So it's like, in reality, they really could only go against themselves.
Male chauvinist.
Not chauvinist. What up, Brian? What up, man?
Dude, get with 2020, 22. This is not the 70s, 60s, 90s.
So I'm a caveman now.
You're a caveman.
All right.
With your beer. And your football and basketball.
Brewster's beer. All right. Now I want to show this. Now, they got a lot of backlash going against her for playing the mermaid. We saw what's going on with the the Rings of Power on
Give them hell
Amazon.
for the Rings of Power to white people. They mad
as hell that they got a
Give them hell.
Black dwarfs and trolls or whatever they call them.
And you know what? There's a video that you had on the other day where it was a white man doing a review on it, and he had a video of the black dude playing an elf.
He said he liked him,
but he was mocking Chinese people. He was doing Asian face.
Yeah.
And he said, "What if this was a white man doing this to a black man? How would it be perceived?" And I can't lie, he would have got backlash about it. So he can't. No, you can't be talking about racism.
But who would have got backlash from? Black people.
What? Yeah.
So if people are mad about what he did, should be Asian people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if that video would go viral and be Asian people becoming minorities in this day, they definitely would say, "Hey, we got another win, folks. See, it's been out here for years." Oh, yeah, nobody ever noticed it because it was yellow. I mean,
gold.
Gold people.
They don't want to be yellow no more. They want to be gold. All right, let me show you what Matt Walsh. He came out in this mermaid thing. This is how you know there's some people who are just they talk in code. They won't flat out say we don't want these niggas in our movies. They talk about they start talking around it and start sounding crazy. This man said it's not scientific to believe that dark skinned people be in the ocean. You're like, what? Niggas can't swim, huh?
I can't swim.
That's damn. Oh, I try to teach him, but yeah. Let's move on. Oh, now I want to load up. Okay, hold on. Let me.
I love being a stereotype.
A stereotypical nigga. You just love it, don't you?
I'm a stereotypical Negro. Can't swim. All I do is eat watermelon and fried chicken.
It is a case of white erasure. All forms of art,
Of course,
including fairy
vegan
tale.
fried chicken. Vegan fried chicken, cauliflower.
That ain't chicken. I'm sick. That ain't chicken. But anyway, listen what he had to say.
All right, Max Winter says, a black actor playing the Little Mermaid really is a case of white erasure. All forms of art, including fairy tales, are meant to be reflections of the author's experiences and observations. Hans Christian Andersen probably based the Little Mermaid based on experiences he went through in his home country of Denmark. So it makes sense that most of his characters would be white, since that's the world and the people he was surrounded by.
And Denmark is still white.
Well, it wasn't always white.
It's now white.
I mean, that's according to, historical documents. It was those places. I'm not even getting to that right now.
There you go again. White people say everything, and now everything was black.
Brian said those immigrant women got slaughtered in a few hours. Yeah, it was bad for them. Be a part of the movies instead of making our own. That's another thing. We got so many stories. You don't need to be a part of it. That's why I will say I watched that movie Nope finally. And I will say something. This is something I will say about Jordan Peele. He don't do stereotypical movies about black people. He obviously does a little bit of race stuff. Even in Get Out, it was a racial movie, but it was in a different context. It was explained differently. It was differently done. No, it's not racial, but it is. If you watch it, you see certain stuff happen, and the predicament that they're in is not typical to black movies. It's just not a typical movie. I will say that. He kind of does a little bit out of the box stuff. Regina said Ocean and Yamina comes to mind. Mermaid and Disney definitely utilize indigenous mythologies, just not U.S. Well, all these mythologies tend to go back to Babylon. That's really what it go back to, or the Kemetic teachings and all that stuff.
We could say the west coast of Africa.
Well, yeah, that too. That's
why. But the crazy part is, talking about Little Mermaid. It should be a black woman, Little Mermaid, to be quite honest with you.
Well, it's funny because the sailors, they say that the mermaid was this deity that was in the ocean that would sing and convince these sailors to come into the water.
Siren,
yeah, you said it right. So it was like you go out into the water and you get the crazies, is what they call it. Like you just want to jump into the water.
Like that movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I love that movie. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Basically, they get into the water, these sailors, and they look at the ocean. They just want to jump in it because they're saying the sirens or the mermaids is calling them. But yeah, if you look up Ogun, I'm sorry, the west coast of Africa, it's a religious deity. If you look up Ogun and then look up Pan,
they're the same.
It's the same person. And that's
all they did was just go every culture has
replaced the names of the same character.
It's the same person, but a different name.
And they take certain aspects of those gods or deities and they make that into a god.
That's why they'll say Greek, Latin. What's the other one?
Roman. Yeah.
Kemetic.
Norse mythology.
Norse mythology. That's Denmark, Norway.
Yeah, all those places.
Yeah, those places.
Yeah. So all these guys, Germany. So
Thor.
Yeah, Thor.
That would be Norse. The last one you said.
Yeah, Norse mythology. Yeah, but a lot of these people represent different aspects of these deities. Like you'll have somebody like Pan, who's the goddess of dance and wine and revelry. He's also the god of fertility. There's different aspects to all these gods, and these different gods are used to worship in different ways. But let's go ahead and watch this.
Yeah, I'm given the way that we deal with these sorts of issues, I'm sympathetic to that. Now, I would be fine, like we talked about yesterday. We don't have to rehash the entire thing, but if we all agreed that race in films and TV shows, especially fictional stories, don't matter, and we're going to take a kind of colorblind casting approach, and it doesn't matter as long as the actor is good. If we could all agree on that, then I'd be on board. And as I said, that's basically what it was for many years, what it was back in the 90s. But
what? Dude, they be lying. If you go back and watch those older movies, white people play. First off, it took a while for women to get in Hollywood. Because men used to play the women and the men.
Well, they did that back in the day.
The early 1800s, even before that, plays and all the
Plays are
Shakespeare's time.
They still do that in
certain theater plays and stuff.
in the Middle East.
Yeah. The Middle East, we'll get into that. Little boys.
The Middle East is just literally like Thailand. They like lady boys.
Yeah, it is pretty much the same thing, except it got a little Muslim sprinkled on it. But they did. It took them a while to let women into these movies.
If you go
ahead.
I'm gonna tell. If you go on YouTube, there's actually a white man who's in the military who was in Afghanistan. He talks about that.
Yeah,
the Middle East men being with
little boys.
Because in their culture, the women are not allowed to dress up and be whores.
Yeah.
So they have men, little boys, dress up and be
like
prostitutes.
Pretty much.
Which is crazy.
So,
I'd rather for a little boy or a man to dress up as a prostitute, but I don't want the woman to.
It's ways.
But that tell me you don't want the woman no way. You want.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's what that's about. And what's funny is, because I saw a video once of them talking about the laws of the Quran and how when a person steal over there, they cut people's hand off. And the dude was like, that's brutal, that's cruel. And they're like, well, would you rather send them to prison where they could be gay or cut their hand off? And you go, what? Y'all already doing the other so how you gonna justify cutting his hand off because you already doing this? More than likely. Which is funny because that goes into the Catholic teachings, well, not teaching, but the Catholic culture where a boy will be molested and he'll get older and he'll molest a younger boy and they gotta get their innocence back over and over. And it's just this thing that happens. That's why you see every year some big story come out, 10,000, 1,000 boys come out and say they were molested and it just the money gets paid and they sweep it on the rug like nothing happened. Catholic Church is gonna go bankrupt in a few years, by the way.
They definitely gonna go bankrupt off giving us no reparation money.
They still owe us $100 million, but yeah.
What I cannot abide by is the double standard thing where we say, well, the casting, the race in casting.
But yeah, I'm about to say they had white people playing Asians, people from Morocco.
Well, Johnny Depp said he got Native American,
Mexicans, blacks. They had, what's that little girl name? Remember the little girl from back in the day?
What little girl?
The little girl who's the famous little white little girl who's singing in all her movies.
Curly Sue.
Curly Sue was in blackface. Instead of putting a little
Curly Sue was in blackface.
Instead of putting
Curly Temple.
Yeah, Curly Temple. Instead of putting a little black girl in the show, they put her in blackface with an older black person being her co-star.
Well, maybe she was mixed. She had curly hair.
Mixed my ass. Mixed with white.
Every time I saw her hair was curly, so maybe she was mixed.
Yeah.
Matters only for certain races and not for others. No, we're not doing that. Also, by the way, with The Little Mermaid, can we also just mention that just from a scientific perspective, okay, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have someone with darker skin who lives deep in the ocean. I mean, if anything, not only should The Little Mermaid be pale, she should actually be translucent. If you look at deep sea creatures, they're like translucent. They have no kind of pigmentation whatsoever.
This is more that notion that dark skin comes from just being around sunlight. No.
He's saying,
I ain't no damn descendant of no monkey. I'm a full human. That's when white people tell those stories about evolution being descendant of these ape-like creatures. They talking about themselves, I guess. I ain't a descendant of them ape. I'm a full human.
Like, how is her hair gonna survive being in the water? It's just gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna turn into a bush, isn't it?
It's gonna turn into a bush.
How's her hair? How's her hair touching the middle of her back?
Staying in locks.
Gotta give her dreaded up or something. All right, let me show this right here. Now, this right here, this is something I put out. The guy, he deleted the tweet. I want to show you this so bad.
That's why I keep telling you over and over. You have to screenshot stuff because stuff gets deleted.
I'm pretty sure if I look, I can find the screenshots, but it's not even that important. It was important, but I'm not going to look for it. This guy here, Lucas Bro, his Twitter, he co-wrote and produced Judas and the Black Messiah. He was responding to a tweet of a woman who was pointing out how all our black icons are being played by foreign black people. And he responded by saying, have you ever wrote or produced a movie? Right? That's how he first responded. They responded back to him. Then he later responded and said that studios will put more backing behind you based off of who's going to play the lead. And he said that the guy who played in Get Out, he had just did that movie and it did really well. So it was easy to get backing for their movie if they made him the lead part of the lead cast. And I said, wait, but that's different from you saying that they were the best for the role.
I can't even say that's. Well, what about before these last 5 or
it does
6, 7 years? Black people were being cast for themselves. So why all of a sudden now you got to go get a foreign black person in order to get money behind
your movie.
A film being made? That's bullshit.
When he deleted his whole account.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
They'll say outlandish shit or do outlandish shit and then delete. That's being a coward. Just take it.
So he tried to stand up for himself. Once people caught on to who he was, I caught it immediately. I said, wait, I clicked on his page and he said he wrote Judas and the Black. I said, hold on. Y'all see what this dude is saying? That's why I said, y'all see what he's saying right now? And he deleted his account when I checked it again. So it is what it is.